If you feel alone in your pain, if you feel unseen in a world that moves too fast to notice your tears, then stay with me for a few moments, my child, because this message is for you. And I promise you, if you listen with your heart until the very end, you will not leave the same person who pressed play. My name in this world was Mother Teresa, but a name is not so important. What matters is what we do with the little time that is given to us, and I want to speak to you now as a mother, as a friend, as a very small woman who believed that even the tiniest act of love can change a human life, and when a life changes, the world is never quite the same. I did not begin my journey as a saint. I began as a simple girl from a small place with fears, doubts, and questions just like you. I remember the first time I saw deep human suffering up close, the hunger in a child's eyes, the body of a man lying in the street, everyone passing him by as if he were already dead. In that moment, I understood something that would guide me all my life. The greatest poverty is not always hunger for bread. It is the hunger to be loved, the hunger to be seen, the hunger to be wanted. Maybe you know that hunger yourself. Maybe you are surrounded by people and still feel alone. Maybe you scroll and yet your heart feels empty. Listen to me, my child. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake, and you are not invisible to the one who created you or to the people who are waiting for your love, even if you have not met them yet. When I first walked into the streets of Calcutta, I had no money, no great plan, no promise of success. I had only a small, trembling yes in my heart. Yes, I will love the person in front of me. Yes, I will care for the one no one else wants. Yes, I will be there. That is all. People looked at me and thought, how will this tiny nun change anything? But I did not set out to change the world. I set out to love one person at a time. This is the first thing I want to tell you. Never be afraid of how small your beginning seems. Do not wait until you have more money, more followers, more education, more confidence. The world does not need your perfection. It needs your presence. It needs your willingness to bend down and lift someone who has fallen, even if no one is watching, even if no one says thank you, even if no one ever knows your name. Some of you listening to me live in great countries with great wealth, with food on your table and a roof over your head, and yet in your own cities, in your own neighborhoods, there are people starving, not always for bread, but for love, for kindness, for one person who will look into their eyes and say, "You matter." I visited many countries, including yours, and I saw a different kind of poverty, the poverty of loneliness, the poverty of being unwanted, the poverty of broken families, broken hearts, broken dreams. You have so much, and yet you fear that you are not enough. You chase success, and still you feel empty. Hear me, success is not what you think it is. In the end, you will not be measured by your titles, your bank account, your number of followers, or how beautiful you looked in photos. In the end, you will be measured by love, by the love you gave, the love you received, and the love you refused to withhold when it was easier to turn away. When I picked up a dying man from the gutter, covered in worms, abandoned by everyone, I was not thinking of cameras or awards or what the newspapers might write. I was thinking, here is Jesus in his most distressing disguise. Here is my brother. Here is a man who deserves to die with dignity, with someone holding his hand. You may say, "Mother, I am not religious like you. I do not see Jesus in everyone." And that is all right, my child. You do not have to see what I saw, but you can believe this. Every person you meet carries a story you do not know, a pain you cannot see, and a beauty that might be hidden under the dirt of their circumstances. To love is to look beneath the surface. To love is to say, "You are worth my time." Today, many of you are tired. Your minds are tired from comparison. Your hearts are tired from trying to prove your worth. You think you must do something big, something spectacular to matter, but that is not true. I have said before, and I will say again, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. A smile given when you don't feel like smiling, a gentle word when anger would be easier, a phone call to an old friend who is slowly disappearing into silence. These are not small in the eyes of love. These are miracles. You want to change the world? Go home and love your family. You want to heal the world? Start by healing your words, your tone, the way you speak to the people closest to you. Some of you dream of building big projects, starting movements, becoming leaders. That is beautiful. But if you are cruel at home and kind only on the stage, your kindness is not real. The world is changed at the dinner table, in the living room, in the way you listen to your child, in how you speak to your husband or wife, in how you forgive. Forgiveness is hard, I know this. There were times when I too felt hurt, misunderstood, criticized, even hated, and still I had to choose love. I am not telling you this is easy. I am telling you it is worth it. If you do not forgive, you carry a heavy stone in your heart, and it keeps you from running freely toward your purpose. Let it go, my child, not because the other person deserves it, but because your heart deserves peace. You may think, Mother, you were always so strong, so certain. No, my dear, I was not. There were nights when I questioned, when I felt the silence of God, when I felt my own nothingness. But listen, your doubt does not disqualify you from doing good. Your fear does not disqualify you from loving. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move in love even when you are afraid. Do you know what gave me strength to continue day after day, year after year, even when my body was tired and my heart was heavy from all the suffering I saw? I did not look at the thousands who still needed help. I looked at the one person in front of me. When you stare at all the problems of the world, you will feel paralyzed. But when you bend down to help just one person, your hands begin to move and your heart begins to change. You may be watching this from a soft couch, from your bed, from a busy kitchen, or from a small room where you feel trapped. I want you to imagine with me for a moment. Imagine a world where instead of scrolling past people's pain, you pause. Instead of judging, you try to understand. Instead of waiting for someone else to act, you say, "Why not me? Why not today?" You have something to give that no one else can give. Your hands, your voice, your presence, your story. Maybe your story includes failure. That is all right. I worked with the broken, the rejected, the addicts, the dying. I saw again and again that the ones who have suffered much can love much. Your wounds offered in love become medicine for someone else's pain. Do not hide your story out of shame. Place it in God's hands, and He can turn it into a blessing for others. If you do not believe in God, then place it in the hands of love itself. Let your pain become a bridge, not a wall. You live in a time of speed, of noise, of endless information, but the heart does not change its needs. Every heart still needs to be loved, to be known, to be valued. And love, real love, always begins with attention. When you put down your phone to truly listen to someone, you are loving. When you notice the person who cleans your office, who serves your food, who stands quietly in the corner of the room, and you give them your smile, your thanks, your respect, You are loving. When you look into the mirror and speak kindly to yourself instead of repeating the cruel words of others, you are loving. My child, I want to speak especially to the one who feels useless, to the one who is thinking, no one would miss me if I disappear. You are wrong. There is a place in this world that only you can fill. There is a child, a friend, a stranger, a cause, a need that is waiting for you. Your life is a gift. Do not throw it away. If you are breathing, then there is still something beautiful left for you to do. Even if you are sick, even if you are weak, you can love through your smile, your patience, your prayers, your gentle words. When I was old and my body was failing, I could no longer run in the streets, but I could still hold a hand, whisper a blessing, smile at a stranger. Until your last breath, you can be a source of light. Do not be afraid of death. What you should fear is not dying, but never truly living. Never daring to love, never daring to give, never daring to pour yourself out for something greater than your own comfort. I am not asking you to move to another country or to start a religious order. I am asking you to look around your own life with new eyes. Who is the poorest person in your world? Maybe it is the homeless man you pass every day. Maybe it is your neighbor who has lost her husband. Maybe it is your teenager who lives in the same house as you but feels you are 1,000 miles away because you are always busy. Begin there. Bring them a meal. Sit with them for 10 minutes without checking your phone. Ask them, "How are you really?" And then be quiet and listen. You may be surprised by how powerful simple presence can be. People often asked me, "Mother Teresa, how did you do so much?" And I would tell them, I am only a little pencil in the hand of God. A pencil does not decide what to write, it simply allows itself to be used. You too can become an instrument of love. You do not need to be perfect, you only need to be available. Every morning you can say, "Use me today to love someone, even if I never see the result." If you live like this, your life will become a beautiful story, written not in ink, but in the hearts of those you touch. One day your body will grow old, your hair will gray, your strength will fade. On that day, you will not regret that you loved too much. You will not regret the money you gave, the time you spent listening, the tears you shared with those who were hurting. You may regret the harsh words you spoke, the moments when you chose your pride over peace, the times you walked away when your heart told you to stay. So, while you still have time, choose love, choose humility, choose compassion, choose to see the face of a brother or sister in every person you meet. You cannot solve every problem, but you can be faithful to the small piece of the world that has been entrusted to you. My child, if you have listened this far, I want you to do something very simple after this video ends. Do not just say, "That was nice," and go back to your old habits. Take one concrete step. Think of one person who needs your love today. Just one. Send the message, make the call, open your door, offer the apology, forgive the debt, share your food, give your coat, sit beside the one who sits alone. Do it today, not tomorrow. Love is not a feeling, it is an action. It is a decision you make again and again, and every time you choose love, even when it costs you something, you become a little more who you were created to be. I am no longer walking your streets, but I am not gone. The love that moved me is the same love that moves the sun, the stars, and the beating of your own heart. Let that love move through you. Let your life be the answer to the loneliness, the fear, the division you see around you. Be kind, be brave, be faithful in small things. And when you reach the end of your journey and you look back, you will see that nothing done with love was ever wasted. I bless you, my child. Now, close this video, open your heart, and go find your one person today and love them with all the tenderness you wish the whole world would give to you.